It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, Guy Next Door.
And me, something other than Steve's forehead.
Bringing you your actual weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Happy Saturday day, everyone, except for, you guys in the US, where it is still the past.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Pastos.
How are you, bro? It's good to see you. You
I'm
well?
doing okay. Doing okay. We had a few updates to try to avoid any future green screens of death. So, to pull back the curtain here momentarily.
That's right. You're
Yeah,
looking freshly shorn.
Oh, yes, there is that too. I feel like also with the lighting, it just looks gray now, and I feel extra old. But yeah, we had to shear down a little bit and gear up for the next hair color that's coming before too terribly long.
Now normally this is the weekend, I suppose, or close to the weekend that would be happening anyway for other reasons. Is that right?
Yeah, so kind of on that schedule, but not really on that schedule. But
Wishful
we'll
thinking.
get into more of that later.
Yeah.
The other pullback on the curtain was that I updated some drivers and stuff like that that were essential, I think, for my video card and my camera. Because here's the non-tech savvy story for anybody who cares, is that confession is I was still running an old version of Windows 7 on my computer because I liked Windows 7 and I refused to ever upgrade. But now that they've stopped supporting any drivers and that for Windows 7, I think it was starting to fuck things up for me. So I said, fine. So I finally broke down, upgraded to Windows 10. So I'm hoping that will get rid of any other issues related to our technical difficulties. But who knows?
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
all part of the fun here of our stream.
You know, like I'm always looking for some excuse to get some sort of gimmick going, and green screen of death is always a good reason to do it. So
That's what I'm here for.
apparently, so Heathen was actually in chat hoping for green screen of death. So you know, thanks for that, chat.
Bit harsh.
Hoodie says you get rid of that issue and add 300 more.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So look, we've got some stuff that we want to get to, obviously in the stream, because otherwise it'd just be us sitting here twiddling our thumbs for an hour and a half and then, you know, getting on with our day. But before we get into that, I want to do some, like, I want to bring it down to kind of
bring it down.
Yeah, but I'm bringing it down to serious.
Down.
Serious Steve is here. All right. Look, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to anyone that's kind of doing things tough at the moment. We had some friends have some average news this week. I'm being confronted at the moment with my own mortality, but probably just, you know, over dramatizing, I think that's a word, things. And, you know, obviously there's a bunch of people that have it pretty rough at the moment, particularly around, you know, COVID stuff, and other massive global issues that are kind of front and center at the moment. Oh, thanks, Ben, for the sub. Legend. But I wanted to just send our love to anyone that kind of needs it at the moment. We try and be a little bit of distraction for people for you know, an hour or so every week. But yeah, I just want to let people know that if you're doing it tough, you know, we send you our love. Community's always here if you need a yarn. We're always here if you need a yarn. So yeah, reach out. Just reach out to somebody if you need to. So with that out of the way,
and remember, it's 2020. We're all just surviving as best we can.
That's right.
That's really just the description we have for this year.
It's been a rough one, man. It's been a rough one. Isn't that bringing it up? Not like it can go any lower. I'm not sure what that means, but that's okay. Ben, thank you for the sub, my friend. That's awfully nice of you. Know it all. Actually, that's an excellent segue. We have some updates for anyone that's keen. Updates. We've added some features. I'm slowly figuring out how to Twitch good.
How do I Twitch?
How do I Twitch it? And one of the things that we've added is emotes. So if you do sub, the first tier subscription emote that we've added is the unofficial Resupply mascot Reggie the Lion.
Okay, unofficial.
Unofficial.
I guess we haven't had that meeting yet.
That's right. So if you got him, yeah, chat, send a bunch of Reggies.
Send nudes is so last year. Send Reggie's is where it's at now.
So I hope you guys enjoy that. There is some other stuff that's in there. There is a sneaky one of these guys. I'll add the DK fail face. Which
There's so many. Be more specific, please.
I think you get that from submitting a certain amount of bits. I can't remember. Again, I'm still learning how to Twitch good. But yeah, enjoy some of the emotes. We'll keep adding features like that. Is that like Sad Russ? It is very similar to Sad Russ, except it was equal parts sad and angry, I think.
Yeah.
1,000 bits. That's, I don't know how much that works out to in actual revenue, but you know, just like obviously all of this stuff is not really needed. Like, we appreciate you subbing and bitsing, but
Yeah.
you don't need to if you don't want to. About 25 New Zealand. God damn,
what you
that's
feel.
expensive. Whoops.
Who would pay for that?
Man, if you're that desperate for a DK face.
Can I give those away for free?
Yeah. Goldfish is in chat. Can we get a rare happy Russ? Sad Russ is common. Yeah, actually, I mean, we'll compliment him enough, and hopefully somebody can send me that photo, and then I'll make that. You really have to.
How much do you have to pay to get the gif of me falling on my face in 2014?
Oh,
that's gonna be like a year-long subscription or something like that, right?
Yeah, if you've subbed for a year, you get falling down DK. Right, so have fun with some of those things. As I figure out more ways to kind of implement stuff, I will. I've also changed in the special points. If you, I think it's accrue 1,000 special points. Then 2,000. Accrue 2,000 special points. Then you could drop a nuke in chat, and I'll do a quick.
2,000
redemption.
specials for a nuke. What the?
That's right.
Better 100 chain that shit.
Boom. I changed it because people spammed the shit out of the chat on Tuesday night when we were at Laser Force, and I had no way to actually post them. So I've made it a little more expensive so that they come less frequently. But you know, get your targets, kid. You're welcome. Yeah, appreciate it, Ducky.
We're in this for the very small amount of bucks, so keep them rolling, everyone.
Well, so I'm pretty sure special points are free. I don't know how
I
they.
think you just accumulate them either the longer you're in chat or like as you post or something like that.
Yeah.
It would happen to me when I was on another Twitch channel that I follow. I was accumulating this stuff. I'm like, what's this number in the corner? And like, do you want to spend these bits? Like, sure, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Of course I do. Of course I want to spend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
I follow one particular channel relatively frequently. I'll see if I've set this. Yeah, boom. Go follow Blueson's channel on Twitch. I follow his channel on the regular, and pretty much all that I know about Twitch I'm kind of stealing from him. So if you see some similarities, yeah, he did it first just because he's a pretty switched on guy. Right, so that's that stuff out of the way. Speaking of, look at the segue. Speaking of Tuesday night,
Segue.
we obviously did Laser Force live again this week. This was the first time we did it from our home site in Wairau Park in Auckland. Less successful than the week before, I feel. Yeah, unfortunately the internet at that site sucks. And a lot of the footage was just unbearable. I went back and watched a bunch of it afterwards, and it's glitchy and, you know, not great, constant dropout. So I want to keep doing it as a thing because I had a bunch of fun, like, you know, reading the comments and stuff as we were playing. Plus I got to do commentary because I didn't play on Tuesday. But if we can't figure out a way to make the internet better there, then I don't know how doable it'll be. Maybe we just do it once a month or something from the other site. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Have somebody bring in a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, Than might be the one to ask about that stuff, right?
Send some of that 5G Corona down our way, Mr. Verizon. Come on.
Speaking of Than, obviously he's not here again.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
He's hanging out with family, so he'll be in a bit later on. So the other thing that happened this week was we debuted Thunderdome Thursdays. Did you happen to catch any of that show?
Now, here's where I reveal what a shitty co-host and co-channel moderator I am. I have not caught up on anything in this last week, so I didn't see the test stream for that, nor did I watch the Laser Force Live on Tuesday.
Right.
I had other work I had to get done this week, unfortunately. So, true confession there. I'm not going to bullshit my way through saying that I watched it, but I am very much looking forward to the premiere of that show.
Goddamn co-host.
We'll catch up on it.
So hopefully this week we get to do it on Thursday. The timing's just been average this month. And Gray, the co-host on that show, I think he had band practice on Thursday night this week, and some sort of work meeting he has to do this coming Thursday. But we debuted the first episode of that show, and I had so much fun. It was so good. Well, in my opinion, because I got to play video games and talk shit. And also I whipped his ass. So Russ is watching Resupply while driving. We don't condone that, Russ.
We do not.
You shouldn't
Turn
do
the
that.
phone over. Just listen to the audio.
Plus, what are you doing out of lockdown? Go home. You should be at home, right?
I've told you that lockdown is like not at all an appropriate moniker for what's going on in the States, right?
That's right. You guys do. Everyone else, be like Auckland. All right, do it good. Stay at home.
Do it good. Stay at home. Yeah, I was looking at some of the guidelines and stuff they released for Victoria because obviously the Melbourne guys are back in quarantine. I'm like,
yeah,
that seems like what a lockdown actually is.
Yeah.
Here it's like, pretty please don't go out more than you have to. Like, please don't leave your house more than like 20 times a week. Make sure you have a mask if you feel like it. You know, we won't actually do anything. It'll be fine. But pretty please do it.
Well, see, they started with that here, and Kiwis are so polite. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, sweet, we'll just stay home. Everywhere else in the world, they're like, you can't.
It's like, fuck you.
How dare
fathers gave me the right to wear a mask.
How dare you encroach on our rights? Damn it.
Haven't you read the Third Amendment? It says no masks, motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, ugh. Please. Where I was going with that was, Russ, you should probably pull over and watch us, right? Or watch it on demand later on when you're not driving.
But please keep it running in the background and mute your phone and turn it over, so that way we at least still get, the credit for the subs and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly right. Than is in chat. Fucking Than.
Be a better D&D player, Than.
Yeah.
Don't multitask.
What was the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh, right. Okay. So I wanted to bring up. He's still finishing Family D&D. I wanted to bring up some fuckery that I've been privy to this week. Shout out Russ for the continual awesome job you do with the stats website. I saw a game on the stats website. I happened to come across it yesterday whilst I was having a chat with Godservant Kamikaze, who were on Discord at the time. And I kind of want to share it here, but the way that the stream works is it usually gets a bit fucked up if I start playing with some of the settings.
Yeah, that's how I get booted.
Yeah, that's secretly how I phase both you and Than out of the show, and then it's just me. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give it a hoon. Just bear with me. We'll go to be right back. I'll
switch in the forehead mode.
I'll set it up, and then you guys can share in this. So bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so I think we're back, and this is brought up the fuckery that I've been talking about. So if you have a look here, look at this bullshit. This dude like has gone full on battle medic, and he's got himself like 41 special points and 6.5 grand as a medic. And if you skip along, which here we go, I'll skip. No, that's not the right window. Where's the right window? Here it is. That's not the right window. Come on, Steve. Up to. There we go. If you skip along here, look at this bullshit. 6 medikits. What the fuck are you up to, man? Like, that's ridiculous.
Shooting the medic?
Yeah, as the medic.
I mean, like, it's cool and all. I wouldn't put it even necessarily at the, like, top of Rusty achievements that I've seen. Also, looking at those teams, I'm going to say right now, hashtag stack teams.
Yeah.
You shit the bed on that one, matchmaker.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like, that's some shenanigans right there. Anyway, I thought it'd bear mentioning because I found it amusing. Bear with me whilst I switch back to the actual screens. We're gonna go be right back again. One more. Okay, we're back.
Oh my god, we haven't crashed yet. This is amazing. Look at our Twitch skills.
Why would you say that?
It's only for heathen's sake. I have to speak it into existence.
That's right. So just quickly, could you guys in chat let me know if the quality of the stream has dipped, not so much in content but in actual performance, because I'm getting a bunch of like alerts popping up on my screen saying that we're skipping frames and that it's kind of shitty. So yeah, just if it's gone a bit average, please let me know.
I must comment one more time that I just enjoy that in New Zealand speak, average is like synonymous for bad, because average is only as low as it gets in New Zealand because you guys are just that happy-go-lucky. That's
right. Yeah, we do lockdown pretty fine. It's all sweet as.
It's sweet as.
It's sweet as. All right, that's kind of what I wanted to go through. You skipped a couple times, but no more than 2 or 3. All right, that might just be me stuttering. Right, let's get to the crux of why we got here, and we'll see if we can stretch this out for an hour or so. Than's gonna join us when he gets in.
45 minutes, something like that, probably.
Yeah, hopefully we can riff until he gets in and he can have his say so. But today we wanted to kind of, oh hey Shawnee, nice to see you. Today we wanted to talk about some Nats related stuff, and we were sort of discussing what could we introduce into the show on a semi-regular basis. And we had this idea of doing the Resupply top 5, right? And seeing as this week would have been the week that a lot of people would be embarking on their journeys to this side of the world. It's bringing up some raw feeling. You can tell by his sad face.
New emote.
Yeah, somebody screenshot that for me. You're not 100% chat is working? I think it is. Let's see. If chat is working, chuck in some Reggies in chat if chat is working. Here we go. There's some Reggies.
Reggie is a go.
Yeah. So to start off our first Resupply top 5, it's kind of like what's the best way to do it? The other side of that. So we're gonna do now it works. We're gonna do the Resupply top 5 worst Nats moments.
We're starting right at the bottom.
Right at the bottom. Yeah, that's right. So there will be some rough things for some people to hear, or some nerves that'll get touched on. But we'll get there.
Maybe.
Do you wanna give us? Should we do a countdown? We'll both do 5.
Yeah.
Both do 4. Okay, cool. Do you want to start? What was your number 5?
Sure. So, okay, my caveats for this is, 1, I had to be there for the Nats. So that's going to rule a couple of things out. The 2016 Nats that didn't happen, that's like an honorable mention because I wasn't there. It's not on my list. Likewise, nothing at regional tournaments is on there because
It's
yeah,
Nats.
we don't need to get into it, but
Nats
obviously
only.
there was some fuckery at some other regional tournaments. I also wasn't there for that. So that's, I guess, can chuck that in honorable mentions category. My number 5 worst Nats moment, and I'm going to throw in here, because we don't want to be a total downers, I'm going to throw in a silver lining for all 5 of these bad Nats moments. But number 5 was 2011 Syracuse Nationals. 1, getting bounced early from the tournament. Like, that was one where we definitely underperformed, and airlines are bullshit. So the story of 2011, it was the first Nats since we restarted in the States that I was not playing on a regular basis. I was living in Portland at the time, so I wasn't practicing with the SAC crew on a weekly basis or anything like that. So I was super looking forward to the tournament. It had been the first time I'd played in months. I'd only visited SAC maybe twice since I'd moved away, so I didn't have a ton of games under my belt, but I went in super confident. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll come back to me. It'll be no problem. I had to, I was working summer school that year, so I couldn't get there until 1 or 2 days before the tournament, something like that. I was going to catch a red eye from Portland, head over to Syracuse, and I had a layover in Chicago. So no problem, right? Don't do that. Never, ever, ever get a layover in Chicago if you have to go to O'Hare. O'Hare is the fucking butthole airport of the universe as far as I'm concerned. Because sure, let's build an airport in the middle of a place where they just have freak windstorms and they have 8,000 thunderstorms a year. It's a perfect place for air traffic to come in and out as a major hub throughout the United States, where we just have to ground air traffic for 3 hours at a time. Brilliant fucking idea, guys. Fuck you, Chicago. Okay, anyway.
May I interject? That was actually an honorable mention for me. That would be super helpful information last year. When a fucking freak storm washed through Chicago and canceled every single flight out of there, and I had to fly to Toledo instead of Cleveland the next day and lost my bags for 4 days? No, 3 days.
Like that. Yeah, and no, they're not freak storms. They happen every Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's the Midwest of the United States and people live there for some weird reason.
Right.
So anyway.
Oh, too loud. I'm peeking out. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
I'm shouting too much.
Yeah. Maybe I'll lean away when I shout.
I'm sorry, everybody. Okay. So my layover, which was supposed to be for, I think, 90 minutes, as I just hopped planes from Chicago to go to Syracuse, turned into, I want to say, about 5 or 6 hours going there the first time. And we ended up taxiing on the Syracuse runway for another good 50 minutes or something while I had to pee so bad, and had Fan and Stalker texting me being like, where are you? Still off the plane yet, guys. Are you fucking serious? Yes, I'm serious. I'm not on the plane. Plus, I'd apparently missed this amazing road trip that Fan and the other guys had from Albany to Syracuse, so I was getting mad FOMO, and I just wanted to play some goddamn laser tag.
So where were you flying to out of Chicago? I missed that.
To Syracuse.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was going, from Portland to Chicago. Quick layover, then just hit Syracuse. No problem. Right. So we get there, and the tournament overall was good. Yeah. I'm going to say it was a good time. I did not play as well as I would have hoped. Strange thing, apparently, when you don't play for a couple of months, you're not as good as you probably were when you did play every week. It's a strange thing. But still, the first couple of days, we were doing well. Yeah. We were competitive I mean, Brisbane was still kicking our asses. That's what they do. But we were beating most of the other teams. We were holding our own against Syracuse. I think we beat them in a couple of games. So it looked like going into finals, we were probably like slotted for third. Maybe we'd get second if we played well. And things seemed like it was going okay. But no, we shit the bed hard. We lost to Detroit in like the semifinals because they, of course, flipped their lineup. We didn't figure out how to make adjustments in time, and just lots of different things went wrong.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting bounced in fifth. And it was really, really disappointing for me at the time. And it was kind of a wake-up call, like, oh, yeah, that actually sucks. It would have been really helpful to practice with these guys, and maybe I shouldn't have insisted on constructing the team the way that we did. So that was disappointing. And then, of course, it was doubly disappointing because I got stuck in a layover in Chicago on the way back as well. Also got stuck at O'Hare for another 5 hours. So,
stupid ass storms.
that was some bullshit. But silver lining for that tournament, it was bittersweet. It was the last ride of like the SAC X crew. So that
really?
team was, it was me, Flint, Fan, Venom, Stalker, and Fuku. I think that actually might have been the last tournament Fuku played.
Yeah.
That was 9 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Get on it, Fuku. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
Fucking like trying to better his kids. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear us out there? Can everyone hear us as I try desperately to fix the screen?
Excellent face.
Nah, we're
There
three.
we go.
We're 3 from 3.
Well, okay. I think we might have it now.
Yeah, we're back. We're 3 from 3.
It wasn't me this time. Yes.
I don't know what the fuck happened there. Oh my god.
No, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and substitute it in. That's no longer top 5 worst Nats moment. This stream has now become number 5. We've displaced.
Honestly, if we could go 1 week, without some sort of catastrophic failure, that would be cool. The thing is, thank you for the bits, by the way, Heathen. It's awfully nice of you. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, let's unclick that there, and hopefully
Yeah,
you can't
fuck
see
that thing.
the bounding box again.
Stream
Yeah.
looks okay on my end, I'm pretty sure.
I can't. The thing is, I can't fix it unless we go back into this screen. And I have a sneaking suspicion that when Than eventually joins the chat, it's not going to display again. But we'll cross that shitty bridge when we get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no bridge. We're gonna have to jump over that chasm, and we may or may not make it.
Steven unclicks and everything crashes. Yeah, that's about right. I honestly, it didn't do anything, and my camera was just like, "Meh," turn off.
Well, yeah, but in any case, the silver lining for 2011 was I got to play with some of my best laser tag friends. It was kind of our last ride together. It was a really fun tournament. That was, I feel like, the tournament that really re-energized the tournament scene, especially in the US, and really kind of owe Sancha debt for getting that done. Because Sneak preview, there may be another moment from the previous year that's coming up in the top 5, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So 2011 was definitely a much improvement on that. So the disappointment is purely on my end. It had nothing to do with the tournament itself, but more my disappointment in Chicago O'Hare Airport, United Airlines, and just me being a fat piece of shit who couldn't play laser tag properly and get our team over the hump.
So
I did get Golden Gun though, so that was something.
Oh, nice, good work.
When you don't shoot very many people and don't score very many points, your accuracy is very high. So,
as a side note, every time the stream crashes, I'm gonna throw some DK sad faces in the chat. Need a Steve-O sad face emote. Yeah,
seems
actually,
appropriate.
I'll see if I can make one of those. All right, so my list, my top 5 list has a has a theme that is very consistent through most of my points. So we'll all I can say is always remember to buy travel insurance, kids. But number 5 for me, so my top 5 worst Nats moment has a similar feel to part of your story. So 2008, I want to say, Auckland's flying to Ballarat Nationals, which for me and the Auckland site was a fantastic. That's a good. Sorry, Ben has just come up. Ben has just made a very good point in the please hold screen. I'm absolutely going to add that this week. And I might even try and animate them so they dance like this. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do. That's such a good idea. It's so much better than what I was talking about.
It's a collaborative effort here. This is why we love the channel. We love you guys.
Ballarat Nats. I had a great week at Ballarat Nats. It was one of the first that I can remember where we had a full community feel to how we all were staying and stuff. Like we were staying at that trailer park, I guess. There was a giant inflatable boob in the ground that you could jump on. That was fun. But the reason why that the start of that trip is at my number 5 was Ballarat has a massive asterisk on it. That's you're not wrong, hoodie. So on the flight from Auckland to Melbourne, which is about a 4-hour flight thereabouts, maybe just under, depending on the wind. We were late leaving. We were flying. A win is a win. That's right. We were flying into Melbourne. We got to about where they would start descending. And they were like, you know what? There's too much fog. We can't land in Melbourne. We're gonna have to turn around and fly to Sydney. So they turned the plane around, divert to Sydney, and it was about this time where I started having an asthma attack on the plane. And I haven't had a decent asthma attack since I was a kid, so I don't carry an inhaler or anything with me, because that's smart. So I start having an asthma attack on the plane and can't breathe, start freaking out. And the only thing I could really think to do was to tell the air hostess, who promptly upgraded myself and Virus to business class. But with no perks. There was no perks. We just got a nicer seat. And I had to spend the next... we're flying to Sydney, and I get given a giant air canister and a mask. So
you were ahead of the curve on that one. We're all up
yeah. So the whole business class were like, what the fuck are these degenerates doing?
They're huffing in the corner.
Yeah, he's a huffing oxygen. We ended up getting diverted to Sydney. We land in Sydney, sit on the tarmac for about 2 hours, fly from Sydney to Melbourne, All the while I'm still like struggling to breathe. Land in Melbourne, and because all flights had been diverted and had now landed in Melbourne, all of the baggage and stuff was like was arriving at the same time, and so what should have been a 4-hour flight thereabouts plus baggage turned into like 10 hours plus in transit to get from Auckland to Melbourne, which was just the fucking worst. It was so shit. But again, we had a nice time at Ballarat Nationals for the week. We ended up winning that one, which we'll talk about in a different podcast. But that's
what's the asterisk, Cody? Were you too sober or something?
Yeah, well, so as soon as we met up with the boys, we promptly went to a McDonald's and then a booze shop. Emptied out half the Coke that
you do.
Yeah, as you do. And then I think the drive was about 2 hours from Melbourne to Ballarat, and we spent that entire trip drinking, which was fantastic. Except, okay, side story. I needed to pee really, really badly, and nobody wanted to stop, or at least stop somewhere with a bathroom. And I have a very real fear of any long grass in Australia, and so when
it's true, I've seen it firsthand.
When they pulled over and they're like, "Cool, just go pee over there." I'm like, "There's so much long grass. It's the side of the motorway.
1,000 snakes there."
Yeah,
literally.
like and so and I'm a fairly modest guy, so I don't want to piss on the wheel where all of the motorway could see. So I kind of like carefully made my way through the grass to a wall, which was like an overpass. And somebody yelled, "Oh my God, Steve-O, run!" So I'm midstream, pull up my pants and just bolt. I don't think I've ever run that fast before in my life. It was terrifying.
Were they just being a dick, or was there something to run from?
Oh, there was nothing there. They were just being assholes. Yeah, so fuck you.
The angriest kangaroo just came out of nowhere and was gonna fight me.
Jerk. I was worried about brown snakes. That's what I was worried about. Fucking terrifying.
Legit.
That's my number 5. What have you got at 4?
Well, that was much more entertaining than my story, but yeah. Number 4 was 2017 losing finals to Brisbane. That was a tough one, which on the whole, I mean, we weren't
That was in
favored.
Sacramento, right?
Yeah, that was the Sacramento one.
Right.
Which we weren't favored really going into finals, but I felt like we had a shot. And when we won one game in like the first finals, since you had to lose 2 matches, like we'd been bounced in the losers bracket, we came back, we won a game decisively. I was thinking this was it. This one it turned. Maybe we had a shot at actually going through, but then we carry over into the second match and just it didn't go right in the first game. Losing that, we pretty much couldn't come back for the second game. I was not really expecting how much that tournament would drain me, because I was thinking that, well, we're going to do the best that we can, but hey, Brisbane's going to be favored. They're really good, and they're bringing a really, really good team. That was an incredibly tough team we had to face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, and it took me a while to really get up the desire to play competitive lasers again.
Really?
We did a league after that in SAC, but kind of even through that league, which I think my team ended up winning. I can't even remember now at this point. No, I think that might have been the one before. But in any case, going through that league, I was like, you know what? After this league is done, I think I maybe want to take some time off and step away from laser tag for a little bit, because I'm just really not feeling it right now. People were talking about getting ready to go to Brisbane the next year, and I was like, yeah, I don't really have a big desire to go. Like, it's a lot of money. I've already done Brisbane. I don't think we can win, so I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it. Incidentally, I have to kind of thank Cordash, because at the end of the league, when I was thinking of stepping away, I was planning kind of to hand things off to him to be like, well, look, Cordy, you got this. It'll be fine if I step away for a little bit. he told me that he had to step away for a bit because he was helping with like his kid's soccer team or something like that. So then I just kind of felt the pressure of, oh well, shit. If I don't do this, I don't know if like Laser's going to collapse if I'm not here to help things out. Which sounds kind of arrogant, but it was the truth at the time.
Like most sites have that person, right? Like
yeah.
You have to.
So I kept doing it. And then some jerks started a podcast that gave me some FOMO about not going to Australia. So I decided one day, just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go. And as a result, that's the silver lining. I didn't end up quitting Lasers. I got to have a badass holiday in Brisbane the next year.
That was so much fun.
That was definitely the silver lining. And it was a really good tournament anyway. I was really proud of how I played overall in that tournament. You know, I think I did well. Certainly the best scout that I'd played at any point in my career, even though maybe that's not the lineup we should have run.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep going through the what ifs. That's the biggest thing is like when you lose in the finals.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
that was
what if we just tweaked like these one or two things, could we have got them?
Yeah.
But the past is the past. You never know.
That was the same tournament that Yama wrecked his knee, right? Like in that one game.
Yeah.
And that was the game you guys were on top, right? You guys were winning that game, from what I remember.
No, I think that's the perception, but my recall of that, and from talking to the spectators, we weren't ahead. Like, it was close. It was a competitive game.
Yeah.
But I think there was some speculation that, oh yeah, we were ahead. Like, we would have won that game if not for that. But I certainly didn't feel like the game was going that direction. I didn't feel like we were in control of that game or anything.
I think I may have been a proponent for perpetuating that rumor, because I was watching that game, and yeah, it felt,
yeah, you know what, keep it up. Yeah, if not for that, we definitely would have won. So
asterisks. Yeah.
I'm owed a trophy. Give me my trophy back, Rusty. You piece of shit.
Russ says we were losing that game. No way, man. You guys definitely would have won. I was there. Medic fled into Yama's knee. So I was that happened on,
it was on the red ramp. I know that. Because we were like 4 or 5 of us were all going up that ramp. It was just a huge traffic jam. Then all of a sudden it just came to a dead stop.
Yeah. I was standing, I think, on whatever that bridge is that overlooks that area. Not the fuck, I can't remember what it's called. Alley. Not alley.
Yeah. I was like, speaking of things that haven't aged well.
Yeah. Whatever that was called, not there, but on the opposite side, looking down into the area.
That thing that we definitely wouldn't have called it in 2020.
Absolutely. Yeah, right on. I do remember that. That was harsh. Did you want to add anything else, or that's your number 4?
No, that was pretty much it. Just I took that loss hard and I expected. I feel like we were right there. I don't know. If we play that 100 times over, maybe we win, I don't know, 1 to 5 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
But the reality is Brisbane was the better team. They deserve to win. But to come so close, especially to come so close even at your home site. And I mean, it might not have been so bad, except Detroit beat them last year, so we know it could be done. So that's just like extra salt in the wound. So that's why this has made it up to number 4 for me.
Yeah. Well, look, I have. It hasn't made my top 5, because I wouldn't say it was like a worst moment for me. But we had a similar bad beat in 2006 in our maze against Brisbane.
Hashtag totem pole.
Oh, fucking totem pole. Oh, that should have been in my top 5. Damn it.
Well, it kind of is.
It kind of is. Let's say it's an honorable mention. So, number 4 for me was a series of events that happened last year in Detroit. And again, you'll notice an underlying theme here. So I'd been battling since the previous year some health issues that had hospitalized me multiple times. And I thought that I had got it semi under control. But I think what had happened was when I finally arrived. Evo, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just growing.
So before Nats last year in Detroit, we broke Steve again. Did the stream drop? Don't do this to me,
Oh,
heathen.
it's okay on my end.
Before
Where's fucking with you now?
before Detroit last year, we decided to go to Cedar Point. Had an amazing day at Cedar Point theme park.
Aside from it being 8 billion degrees outside.
Aside from that, and I got like, oh my god, I got severe heat exhaustion to the point where I was going on roller coasters near the end of our day. Not because I wanted the fun, because I had a searing headache by then, but because it was the only time you could keep cool. Because
Facts.
it was horrible. It's the most uncomfortable heat I think I've ever felt. We were driving back from Cedar Point. Shout out to Swifty Taco for driving. I think it was me and I don't even remember. I think it was Morange back from the park.
That sounds right.
And so apparently Michigan weather is shit hat. And
It's close to Chicago, so yes, of
yeah,
course.
the storm that had like made my plane divert like the day before had apparently rolled its way through to where we were, and like torrential rain at like it's the worst like driving conditions. Morning, Marcus. Nice to see you. Worst driving conditions I've ever been in, and there were like cars scattered on the freeway, like that had hydroplaned and was like facing the wrong way, and I was fairly certain we were gonna die. So I have a feeling that amount of stress, plus deep dish Chicago style pizza, plus Texas barbecue, plus being severely dehydrated, all contributed to what was about to happen. So I missed all of training because I was really dehydrated, missed all the training, hadn't had a chance to play in the maze, which is really problematic because Detroit's little holes and little things that you get shot through was you had to have training. It was such a detriment not to be able to train. Played Monday. Played Tuesday, and Tuesday night we were back at the accommodation, and it was about 2 a.m. in the morning. I get woken up with some severe abdominal pain, and it was so bad that we actually had to call the emergency services. And I had to be taken to hospital on that night, on Tuesday night, and that was I got given a taste of what fentanyl is, because we don't have it down here.
Well, we got a lot of it up here.
Yeah. But yeah, long story short, I got hospitalized at Nationals last year and missed all of Wednesday, and so that was really shitty. That was a real shitty moment for me. So that's my number 4 top worst moment of Nationals.
I wasn't there to give you your milk, so you weren't able to recover from it.
Yeah, the year before, because it was I had just started having these pains, and we were staying in a hotel together, and we were sharing a bed. And I said,
"Ooh, baby!"
I'd said
It's one of these stories.
I'd said the night before, like, okay, DK, if I have an attack, just please get me some milk. And sure enough, like that night, I roll over, I'm in agony, and I say, Dave.
Yeah, that's how I knew shit was fucked. You called me Dave. I was on hyper alert after that. I'm like, oh shit,
Dave.
Oh my god, Steve's having the baby right now. We have to go.
Yeah, so that's number 4. That's number 4, being hospitalized last year in Detroit, no less.
Yeah, especially when I didn't even know the number for emergency services in Australia. It's like looking frantically on the phone.
Hashtag Dave K.
Dave K. Yeah.
Hoodie says, "Who the fuck is Dave?"
I don't know. Dave's not here, man.
Yeah, Dave's not here, man.
Yep. And Nimitz slept through the whole thing, so it was fine.
Yeah, on the floor. All right, what do you got?
All because you didn't get the van on the right day.
Oh, god damn it. That's so funny. That
Yeah.
whole well, sort of funny.
Sort of.
Funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Tragic is also
So
a
that's
word.
number 4.
That's number 4. What do you got? What do you got
Yeah.
at 3?
Yeah, it's a big gap going between 4 to 3 because the next two are real doozies. Number 3, 2015. I'm just gonna call this cult bullshittery.
Hashtag Agape Saga.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as much as we joke about asterisks being on other nats, Jesus Christ, there's a huge asterisk on that one.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah,
4 a.m.
yeah, with the
4 a.m. in Germany at the moment. You're doing it tough, Europeans. You're absolutely
Nice.
doing it tough.
that's real commitment
Can,
there.
can we have some Reggies in chat for the Europeans? Because
Big Reggies for my Euro pals.
oh, Than says DK game is done.
Okay.
When are you jumping in, Than? Message DK when you want in, and I'll put everything on hold. Just
He
for
says,
you.
"Okay, I'm ready." He messaged us, so
Oh, is he? Okay, we'll go to be right back. We'll
Yep.
put a pin in that story.
yeah. Well, Dan was there. He can help me elaborate the
That's
story.
right.
Segue.
All right, we'll be right back, folks. Enjoy the music. All right. Boom! We're back. Sorry if I
A
spiked the
wild
mic.
Dan appears.
He's back to Old Man Than. Dances with Wolves was a one-time only.
Was it one time? Yeah. Good thing, asshole. I fucking hate both of you so much because obviously last week being on my phone, there was no fucking way I could see that. So fuck both of you.
Welcome home. Welcome home, you crazy bastard. You put in
Cheers,
the
bro.
you put in the chat. You want to elaborate?
Yeah. It's 8:56 p.m. in fucking Texas right now, and I should not be in this fucking room. I should be in fucking Auckland right now, seeing friends and whatnot, and maybe playing some Legends. I don't fucking know, but I should fucking be in Auckland right now.
You absolutely should be.
This fucking COVID bullshit and the United States' complete lack of any sort of coherent response that's totally just fucked us all. So
Bed shitting. We are in the middle of it.
oh my, it's saw an article the other day that did the relative rank of passports as far as like what countries you can get into and all that shit. Normally the US passport is normally like in the top 10. I mean obviously there's places you can't go with it, but no, Al, not drunk. This is me completely fucking sober. I'm just really fucking irritated.
He's just mad. He mad,
yeah.
bro.
So you're in the
Yeah.
perfect frame of mind for this top 5.
Exactly. Totally worked myself into it. But yeah, so it's going through this article, and normally the U.S. passport is usually somewhere in the top 10. It's between like 5 and 10, depending.
Yeah.
And with COVID right now, it's dropped into like the mid-low 30s.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many countries that are like, nope.
Nah, bro.
nah, bro.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Yeah, me and Dan had like been sort of trying to make some rough moves to move to New York, and now that is not something I want to do.
Yeah, don't do that, bro. Don't do it.
But
yeah, bro, that'd be fucking terrible. Definitely don't do that.
So I'm on the bandwagon now that everyone should just move down here, and Auckland should just be Laser Force Central. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Down.
Hey. Again, Julie and I have literally started having conversations that, like, if the November election does not go the way that we think it should, if somehow we have a Cheeto back in office for another 4 years, we are seriously considering just going, peace out, like, very soon afterward, because we just don't want to deal with this.
Move home, bro. Time to move home.
Make sure everybody register to vote for Kanye 2020. We gotta get it done, guys.
Oh my fucking god.
Hashtag fish sticks. Look.
Hashtag stab DK in the fucking face.
We're gonna throw all that politics out my window, and
yeah, good call.
Call.
Seriously, good call.
Old man Thane, you're gonna give us your top, so your first two, so 5 and 4. You wanna?
Yeah, because we'll revisit my topic, because I think Dan will want to revisit.
Oh,
that as
absolutely.
Well. Okay.
What do you got at 5?
So it was hard kind of deciding like which one is my literal worst. So I decided to put them just in chronological order, from oldest to newest.
Right on.
Because everything sucks at some point, and it's just kind of hard sometimes trying to figure out exactly how much it sucks in relation to something else.
Yeah.
So my first bad, terrible Nats memory. We're gonna go all the way back to Newcastle in 1999.
Hashtag Yellow Fish. That's old.
Yeah.
That's very old.
We have players that weren't alive in 99.
I think we have players in this chat possibly that weren't alive in 99. So yeah. That was it. It was obviously the first time anybody from America had been to a nationals in Australia, and I went down. And basically, I played in the Masters comp, but didn't get to do any of the Space 5 comp because I just the days didn't work out, because I was seeing other friends down in Sydney and stuff like that. But so I went down to Australia thinking that I was pretty fucking good, because in Sacramento at the time, I was literally like one of in all seriousness, in Sacramento at that point, I was definitely top 5. I mean, I was still young and quick, and my body hadn't started betraying me yet.
All the ligaments in your knee were still there.
My I hadn't fucked my back up yet. It was great.
Yeah, fluid-free spine. Yep.
Yeah. So Heathen was -2 in 99. So I was right. There are people in this chat younger than my first Australian Nats. That's so fucking fantastic.
Al, 99, already old.
Accurate. Yeah. So I went down there thinking, hey, I'm pretty good. I'm gonna acquit myself well. This will be fun. And don't get me wrong, it was fun. I mean, it was a really good experience on a host of levels. But so I got introduced to the Australian rules, which was a thing.
Yeah.
And as everybody, everybody knows, the first time you get introduced to the rules, it's a thing. And
That's a process.
it's definitely a process, but over and above, on top of that, like, I am not going to blame how poorly I played on the rules. I just got fucking wrecked, and I'm trying to remember. It's so the Masters in Newcastle, I think, was capped at 18 because they had 12 suits, and Brisbane brought down like 6 more, so that there were spares, and so they did an 18-person nationals or Masters. And I finished 13th, and that was generous because there were some Newcastle players that were really terrible. Yeah, it was that eye-opening experience of just how fucking terrible I actually was in comparison to, these goddamn fucking Australians. So yeah, it was I don't necessarily know if that goes down necessarily as a bad Nats memory, but it's certainly a humbling Nats memory, which is sometimes the same thing. Yeah. Oh no. Like, I got I just got so lit up during that Masters comp.
I like so how bad. Those things, like going to Nats and getting wrecked is kind of a rite of passage, but going to Nats and thinking you're the shit and then getting wrecked is the best thing for everyone else.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I said, yeah, it's like, it's obviously something that's pretty fucking hilarious now, but at the time, just kind of like doing that whole like replay thing. Like, when I got back, I mean, first of all, I got back to Sacramento and was like, here's this rule set. This rule set makes a fucking lot of sense. And so began the push of the Australian/international rules into Sacramento, which took a real fucking long time. Which is a whole other set of things. And I just realized like how much I'm using my hands to talk right now.
Go full Italian. It's okay.
Totally am. So
that's why we moved to a streaming format. It's like I watch you do this. Yeah,
that's true. So yeah, there really was a lot of good that came out of it. It was the start of the international rules being used in the States because I brought them back. It was the start of me coming back and going, oh my fucking God, like, we think we're good. We are not good. Like, in any way, shape, or form. People didn't believe me.
I remember you telling me that. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and but there was definitely a segment of the Sacramento population that did not believe me. They just thought I was fucking trash. Which, I mean, again, there is some truth to that. But
at the time, relative.
At the time,
you were a very good player in Zach.
Yeah, and people were just like, nah, they're not that good. It's like, bruh, you were not there. You just really need to fucking trust me on this. So,
well, it probably didn't help that year the SAC teams combined just mopped the floor with Sugarland at the US Nat. So we really thought we were hot shit after that.
Yeah.
Wow, we beat one other site in the US that had like never played before. Oh my God, we're so good.
Ducky says, gesticulating Than is your next emote. You donated 10 bits. Right, so that's at 5. We're gonna say that's your 5. What do you got for 4?
So 4. So this is Sugarland 2002. DK, was this one that you picked up yet, or?
It actually wasn't.
Okay.
It's actually not on my list, so I'm glad you're bringing it up. We can talk about it.
I have a feeling I know where it's going. But I'm intrigued.
I know where it's going for sure.
Yeah, DK knows exactly where this is going.
It's dragon involved.
So
let's get there. We'll get there.
And actually, I think Al knows where this is going too.
Yeah,
probably. It should be. So Sugarland 2002 was interesting in as much as it was the first U.S. tournament where Australians came over, and Kiwis, because Rusty wasn't living in Australia yet. So Rusty was over, and Night Out and Darren came over, and yep, there's Julie grabbing her phone because I closed the door on her. Yeah. Oops. I feel that
You're gonna get in trouble.
I am a bad husband. That's basically what that gets down to. Anyway, so this was the first first U.S. tournament that anybody from overseas had come for, and so that part was cool, but there was just a whole bunch of things for this tournament that went badly. Starting off with leaving to go, there were supposed to be, I think there were basically supposed to be like 12 of us going. It was a pretty fair amount. Well, 2 people did not show up to the airport. Now, one of them we knew wasn't. That was Starkiller. His then fiance, now wife, had gotten into like a car accident or something like a day or 2 before, and he's like, nope, and we're like, yep, that makes sense. You stay home. You have more important to deal with. But then Captain Howdy, who was one of the Sacramento owners at the time, also just didn't show up.
Is that the dude with the kilt?
Yes, kilt, one hand. Yeah.
I don't think I even noticed that.
Birth defect. He doesn't have a left hand. He has a left stump.
Oh wow.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm so perceptive and really good at talking words.
Obviously. So now the biggest problem with this, I mean, there were a multitude of problems. The biggest problem with this was that at the time, these were the only 2 over 25s that were coming on this trip. Anybody who is under 25 who has ever tried to rent a vehicle knows how fucking expensive it is for an under 25 to rent a vehicle, and there's certain companies that won't even rent to you.
Yeah.
If you're under 25. Fortunately, Enterprise would rent a vehicle to me, so we ended up having the original rental was supposed to be for like 2 cars because we had 2 drivers. Well, now we only had essentially 1 driver, me, because we looked at adding like another person to drive. I think we were going to add Sean Yama to drive, and it was like an extra like $500, and we're like, nope.
Yeah, we were all broke as shit back then too.
So we had to rent a minivan, which was like, okay, cool, expensive, but okay.
The Behemoth 1.0.
Yeah. Now, side note on that, one of the things I'm most proud of over the time of doing all of my tournament traveling, I've never actually ended up out money for things I've had to front. Everybody paid me for the van. I didn't end up out any money for it, which was real fucking cool. So we had that to start with. Secondary issues were Brian and Adam, Captain Howdy and Starkiller, were supposed to be playing with the overseas players, which turned out to be one of the reasons that Captain Howdy didn't go, because he didn't want to play with non-Sacramento people. It's like, well, you could have just fucking said that. We would have readjusted the fucking teams. But
saying nothing is a way better result for everyone. Totally. Yeah.
So we get to Sugarland, which we'd been to a couple years before, and the equipment was decent enough at
the time. It was good. That was like when Gen 5 premiered in the States, so that was top as far as we were concerned.
Yeah, it was fine. So we get to Sugarland in 2002, and let me tell you, the equipment, much different experience at that point. So this was a 36-pack site, and this is Gen 4, Gen 5 stuff.
It was 5.
It was 5. Okay.
Because they had 5 and 99 when we first went.
Okay.
That was the first time that I played on 5.
Cool. Okay. So it was a Gen 5 site, which meant obviously no multicolor LEDs. And it's supposed to be 12 of each color because they were a red, green, gold site. And suffice it to say, Not so much with 12 each color. I think when we got there, there were maybe like 7 or 8 ish, maybe. And by the time like people started working on them to try to fix them, we basically ended up at like 6 packs per color. It was real fucking bad. But we haven't gotten to the worst part of the week yet.
No.
No. Oh no. So um, I was already real crispy that week because well, oh no, and this is and I realized that I talk a lot and give it excessive amounts of backstory, and if you don't like it, fuck you. Too bad, it's our show.
This is all very relevant backstory, by the way. Trust me.
So
It deserves a DK fail face.
Like 5 DK fail faces.
Yeah, no, God, the Al put in chat the amount of spent a ton of time fixing the suits. Oh yeah, it was ridiculous how much time was put into trying to get the suits even to a bare minimum standard to play, and even then it was very it was not so good.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to me being crispy, as many of you are aware, and if you're not aware, you haven't been paying attention. I am, my wife Julie is from Australia. We did the long distance relationship thing for a while. We broke up at one point. That breakup was pretty much right before Nationals in 2002. It was by like a couple of weeks. The details of which are completely not important for any of you. You just have to know.
Now. Doesn't matter.
Happy ending now, so it doesn't matter. But so I was already, a little fried. So you go through all these equipment issues, and there were some personality conflicts that Goofball and I were having that week as well, with stat stuff I was doing and things that weren't getting acknowledged, and the amount of other work that Sacramento Techs and Night Owl were having to do on the packs to get them playable, and it was just not going well. And we get to, this was like day 2 or day 3. It must have been day 3 because
it was at least 3, yeah.
Stuff's just not going well. And one of the other things you have to understand about the Sugarland packs was that they had actually relatively cleverly done like a 2.5-3 foot strap that hooked from the chest back to the chest plate to the O-rings on the guns, basically to keep people from dropping the guns. So cool, it's actually a really cool thing to keep people from breaking shit by dropping it. However, what it meant was when we were playing a game when I was medic and my suit fucked out and I ran to the armory to get a new suit because your medic suit's not working, you probably want to get something that works. And I grabbed the only suit for the color that was on the rack and I put it on. So of course the gun is just hanging because there's a strap there, and I'm giving the person in the armory who we always had there because so many fucking suits were breaking, like every game somebody was switching a pack out, giving them my number. They log in, they start me, I run in, there's teammates. I'm like, cool, I can start giving them lives. And I bring the gun up and I start trying to shoot and nothing's happening. And then I take a second and I look at the gun and realize there's no lights flashing on the gun. And then I look down and realize there's no gun cord from the gun to the suit. And this was the point at which, that expression, the straw that broke the camel's back, that was it. Like, that was just the one last thing that I could not fucking deal with. And so I get like 3 more steps and I just kind of stop and I turn around and I start walking back to the armory. And I get back in the army and I can't even remember who was in there. Not important. And they're like, what? And I pull the pack off, and I literally just full on fucking spiked it into a corner, like full force, slammed it, and out the armory, out the front door, went around the back of the building, and literally just started bawling my fucking eyes out. Like, I was so just done on so many levels, and it was that last emotional damn burst, just done. And I was out there for probably like 15-20 minutes, and then Yama comes walking out, and I'm still ready. He's like, so do you need a sub? And I'm like, yes. It was a perfectly legitimate question, because the game had to go back in, and he's like, yeah, do you need a sub? Yes, I need a sub. And so I stayed outside for another probably like at least until the end of that game, and I'm just trying to get it all out. And it kind of starts finally kind of dawning on me like what I did to the pack. And somebody was talking to it. Everyone's like, you probably need to go, apologize to the owners because you just spiked their equipment. And I was like, yeah, no, I know. And so I did eventually go, apologize to the owners for doing that. And they very graciously did not kick me out of the tournament, which they would have been well within their rights to do.
Hoodlum in chat has said original chair.
Oh yeah, no, it was bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was audible in the game. I initially thought somebody had fallen down, and that was the sound that I'd heard.
No. So those are in cron order. There we go. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, DK, we'll pop back to your number 3. Oh, cheer
number 3,
emote.
yeah.
That's a great idea, Smalley. We'll work out some sort of cheer flip.
We've got
emote.
so many emotes now. This is great.
I need to. Can someone make a note of them for me, please, and message them to me in Discord? Because I get excited about these ideas and then I completely forget about them. And I don't watch this channel.
I create this channel.
So just bear with me whilst I fix the cameras again, people, because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, this is the best show ever.
Seriously, man. Where's the rest? There we go. Okay, hang on. Bear with me, people.
Hey.
We're getting there.
Form fits function. We're talking about the worst Laser Force tournament moments. It's only fitting.
It's relevant, people. It's relevant.
Yeah.
Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Damn it!
I don't know.
DK.
Nobody cares about your camera, apparently.
Like, for real though. Where's my camera? There we go. Hang on. Bear with me. G&D camera.
At the very least, we are being super fucking entertaining right now. This is so fucking ridiculous.
This is peak entertainment.
So I'm not even sure why that is doing that. I don't know what that is, because it's definitely my computer, but Discord being a weirdo. Anyway, whatever. Let's move past that. Let's get to number 3, because we're going almost an hour and a half. So we'll try and
I'll just speed these up a little bit here.
Yeah.
No, we won't. Fuck that.
We're going long today, guys.
Now the resupply with DK and
That's what she
Fan.
said.
You guys are nothing if not consistent.
That's right. Exactly. We wouldn't
Oh,
want you guys to think we're imposters over here. We
That's
did
right.
not hire ringers.
yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah, 2015, like I said, we'll just call this one cult fuckery because that's really what it
Yeah.
is
Okay.
dealing with not necessarily all the people who were involved in the Michigan cult. And again, this is also something that got brought up because Goofball was also there for this after many years later, after he and Than reconciled and became friends again and all that. We love Jeff. He's a cool guy. He had heard people talking about the cult, and he assumed this was a joking type thing, like, oh, a cult of laser tag players, like they're really into laser tag, like it's a cult following, huh? No, we mean it's a real fucking cult,
With
like
news stories and everything.
like Jim Jones shit.
Yeah, I have a very clear memory of him coming to us at one point, going, I thought you guys were kidding. Oh, yeah.
Nope, wasn't kidding.
And so actually, DK, this was in my chronology, so it's cool.
Okay.
We can cover it in one.
Good. Okay, so we can consolidate a little bit. Yeah, just the week of having to deal with the bullshit, in particular of Craig Stasio, biggest piece of shit on the planet. I hope you're watching right now. You're a piece of shit, and I hate you. Go get COVID or something. So just dealing with his unpleasantness all week just put a real damper on the tournament, which is otherwise a cool tournament. We met a lot of other cool people there. That was the first tournament for a lot of other sites. For San Marcos, for Loveland, them getting into the scene. And it was otherwise a really cool week. We had a really cool house. We totally almost didn't get shot by some weird Colorado guy because Venom was trying to play drunk Qzar on his lawn at like 10 in the evening. So it was a really great week otherwise.
Which I missed because I was at the Rockies game and came home to a bunch of drunk motherfuckers all over the fucking house. Jesus fucking Christ.
And outside the house.
Outside the house.
Yeah.
Disappointed Than was very disappointed.
P.S. We're very sorry about your VRBO ratings, Russ. We didn't mean to do that to you. But yeah, just the personality bullshit of dealing with the cult leader and his gaslighting and manipulation and bitching constantly to the refs and all kinds of stuff was compounded infinitely when it came to finals when they won, quote unquote, by just cheating their asses off. And I still have real regrets about this, about just like not stepping in and penalizing the fuck out of every one of those assholes that I saw in the middle of the game. Except for Scythe. Scythe was playing clean, but every one of those other motherfuckers were doing all kinds of shady crap.
There was talks of them like stepping out of the tournament, right? If that was, have I got that correct?
If what?
That he like threatened to pull his team if they were going to get penalized for some shit.
Yeah, something like that. There were all kinds of threats that were made, and again, had it been a tournament in which I had, I guess, greater authority in dealing with those things, I would have been like, God bless, see you later.
Yeah.
Or we don't need you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my call to make. It wasn't my tournament to run.
Yeah.
I was already kind of fried at that point from dealing with all that bullshit all week, reffing from them, working the refs constantly. And it kind of gave me an appreciation, like, for watching professional sports, like how much shit refs have to deal with. It's like, yeah, refs can lose their shit. You've just been worked by all the players and the coaches and stuff like that who are just like screaming at you constantly. Yeah, they get fed up with some shit. So they were, of course, making very careful efforts not to cheat visibly in front of the refs, but it was very obvious that it was going on.
Yeah.
And I really wish we would just stepped in and taken all the shit for doing it. But I'm just like, I'm kind of done at this point, and stuff was foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
And it put a huge cloud over it. Everybody knew that it wasn't a legitimate win, but that's what is on there. There was briefly a banner hanging in Michigan that was later toppled like a Confederate statue and just consigned the ash bin of history like it should have been.
Yeah, I think one of my other main memories from that whole thing with the cult is like it was going out. I think it was Denny's or whatever the fuck it was after after everything had happened, and I have this very clear memory of Scythe like sitting at the table, just kind of like staring dead dead
It was like this.
into the table, and him going, what have I done?
Yeah.
What did I just do? I just what did I just this whole like. Yeah.
When you're looking to your moons over my hammy for solace, like that's when you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he knew it wasn't his. Yeah.
So know-it-all in chat said, you have no idea, DK, even amateur and semi-professional players are shocking. So he's a referee for qualified. I can't remember what level you said you are, Ben, but a qualified referee over here for
nice.
For football, for soccer, and I think another sport. I can't remember which sport. You have to correct me, Ben. But yeah, he probably has a very good grasp on what you're talking about.
I refed for a number of years when I was younger and stopped.
That's
because
hard, man.
of the abuse that gets handed out. So yeah,
that's rough.
So,
and and we don't get paid at the tournaments to do this. So I'm like, there's only so much brain power I'm willing to expend. But it is a regret that I have to this day that I didn't kind of stand up for what was right in that moment. Just penalize the shit out of Craig and keep penalizing him if he tried to talk back to me and telling him that he could go fuck himself if he had a problem with it.
Right.
Hindsight.
Yeah.
Hindsight, and again, it's nobody really considers that a legitimate kind of victory either, but you still don't want to kind of cast that sort of pall over the tournament.
Yeah.
In any case.
Massive asterisks.
Yeah. Massive asterisk, but again, we're all about the silver linings here on the Resupply podcast. So, silver lining in 2015, that was the year that Fireball DK was born. So
accurate.
That really is the most massive win from the tournament. That was a reason why Disappointed Fan came back and found Venom trying to play Qzar against RNT out in the street with a very irate gun-wielding Coloradan threatening violence upon him.
By the time I got back, Venom was
that was after, that had already moved inside. Because it wasn't even that late that was going on. I could understand if it was like 2 a.m. and they were doing drunken shenanigans on the front lawn. But that late, it was like 10. I didn't see what the big deal was. But very touchy.
They're getting back to the house, and DK is obliterated. Venom's obliterated, which is expected. DK being drunk was definitely kind of made me turn my head. I was like, what the fuck?
That was new. That was new.
That was new. Stalker was completely fucking drunk, which that was a little scary. Brawny had tried to go drink with Stalker, and that was a terrible idea.
That wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, no, it was.
I mean, Bronwyn's tall. But Stalker is a large man.
Yeah,
and was larger at the time.
Yeah, no, there's just so much bad there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when you got back, that was when you found me, Venom, and Bronwyn at a heap at the top of the stairs.
That certainly happened. I don't remember at what point it happened. Like seriously, like taking care of all of you idiots. It all kind of blends, and then especially having to deal with Brawny, who was completely blackout and ended up vomiting while she was sleeping. Unfortunately, I'd been sending Autumn up to check on her every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And she came back
and
she comes back, she's like, Chris, Brawny's turn. I was like, fuck's sake. Okay. And then
we're trying to air your dirty laundry on the air, Brawny, but it's not like anybody hasn't heard this story in our community anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
So fuck you guys, man.
It was a pretty epic party, though, I gotta tell you.
Hell yeah.
Fireball DK was very happy that he was spoke into existence. I learned the wonders that are the Firefall liqueur line.
Well,
fucking terrible.
So, so my number 3 has moments of me being unconscious. Again, because always remember to buy travel insurance, kids. All right.
It can't be said often enough.
Oh my god. So my number 3, Nationals Chula Vista 2010. That whole trip for me was a complete write-off. So that was my first. I think that was my first time in the States. It was I caught something on the plane over to the US, and it wrecked me. So there seems to be a pattern here. You're not wrong, Smalley.
There'd be a theme.
So that was the Nationals where the term Kiwi AIDS was spawned. Because oh good lord, I was wrecked. Where the hell is Chula Vista? Not True La Vista, Chula Vista. You're way too Kiwi. So
hey, imagine that.
So I got sick sometime between getting off the plane in LA and staying in fucking Inglewood of all places in LA. Inglewood. Staying there and traveling to San Diego, and it was when we got to San Diego where I started feeling a bit odd, and that slowly descended into the most sick I've ever been in my adult life, from something that didn't put me in the hospital, and it really should have. But I didn't have travel insurance, so I couldn't go to anywhere to get it sorted, because up until this point I'd only ever traveled to Australia, and I generally didn't worry about. Funnily enough, the actual first Kiwi AIDS was brought to Brisbane Nats by virus. Yeah, actually, that he was deathly ill. He turned green. I'm pretty sure he had swine flu. It's terrible. But I'd only ever traveled between Australia and New Zealand, and so I hadn't had to worry about travel insurance because Kiwis in Australia are pretty much residents almost.
That's cool.
It's all good.
It's cool.
You're fine.
It's fun.
Yeah, you're on hospital. You're cool.
So I had the same cavalier attitude traveling to America, which is the wrong attitude to have.
Having a cavalier attitude about anything medical in America is not a great move.
Yeah. So
that's bad, bro.
I couldn't go to the doctor. My only saving grace was that Baden was with us, and he had some hardcore medical supplies that he had brought with him. But otherwise, I think by Wednesday I was having fever hallucinations, and it was so bad. But that wasn't the worst part of the week. The worst part of the week was having to play the American rule set. For those who have been playing the international rule set, for however long you've played for, going to a tournament and trying to play that zone style of play, really, not having a shoulder rule, was the fucking worst. They had these tall walls that some players could reach over and shoot down from, and that was one of the most frustrated I've been at a Nationals, and that caused me to rage, slam doors, and I think I had to go outside and have a cry on the last day, because I was just I haven't contributed all week, I haven't been able to play all week, and when I do get to play, I had to deal with this shit. So that was awful. That was probably, that's one of my worst Nats moments, was just that whole experience. And then I thought I was getting better, and then I relapsed once we drove to Vegas, something to do with the heat or the dryness just made my tonsils swell up.
Both of those things will definitely fuck you in Vegas, for sure.
So then when it was time to fly home, off the back of what happened when I flew to Melbourne and had the asthma attack, I thought it'd be a good idea. I was like, well, they must just bump sick people into business class. So I was like, I don't suppose I could maybe get seated in business class. And she was like, you need to stop talking, because you're lucky you're getting on this plane at all. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Just put me
That's
in my
more the
regular
American
seat.
hospitality I would expect.
Yeah, so that was shitty for me. The Melbourne boys hoodie, I didn't realize you got sick from that week. That virus had swine flu. Clearly, he did a good job at passing that along to everyone.
Virus is nothing if not a giver.
Yes, he is.
Got that virus.
What do you have? What do you have at 3, Than? What's your next one on your list?
Oh, Brisbane 2005.
Yes. I have this as an honorable mention. Actually, I have this tournament as an honorable mention.
So, Brisbane in 2005. So I had moved to Auckland in September of 2004. So when 2005 rocked around, in the initial, there had been some talk / hope that there, may have been some U.S. players coming down. So I was like, fuck it, I hadn't really been able to necessarily make a lot of headway in Auckland with regards to much of anything play-wise. There was definitely a very entrenched cadre of players that had very specific ideas about how Space 5 should be played and didn't want to listen to the stupid fucking American that had just moved down and had some ideas on how to try to make them suck less.
That was part of the reason why a lot of cats quit. There was a good portion of that crew that ended up stopping. They stopped coming down.
Yeah. Well, but you're getting ahead of yourself a little bit here.
Yeah.
As we do. So I figured, okay, I'll play with some U.S. players that are coming down. No big deal. I'll go on a hybrid team. Well, obviously that didn't eventuate. Like, real life happened. Other people didn't come down. So I ended up on essentially on a 5-person hybrid team that had a 6-person that was basically like a permanent sub from Brisbane. It was Flame Drake was our 6th permanent. But this team had 2 players from Oakley who were absolutely fucking terrible. Judicator and CJ. Now CJ, I don't know how much I can rag on him for being shit, because there were obviously other developmental issues with him. So
CJ.
Yeah, he was fucking terrible, but there were legitimate reasons why you could go, yeah, he's terrible. Okay, how much shit are you really gonna give him? Judicator was just fucking useless. So this was my team. It was them 2, and I think it was some of the extra Wellington boys that weren't on their team, and Flame Drake. It was
A motley crew of sorts.
Yeah, it was real fucking bad. And
Dragon.
the net.
Alice's Dragon was on the team?
No.
He was
Dragon
there
was
that
not
year.
on Dragon was not on that team, because he would have actually added some quality to that team. No, 2005 Dragon did not play on my team, because that would have actually been fun. And honestly, the reason I know that Dragon wasn't on my team is I was reffing a game where he missiled Traj straight up face to face. So that's how I 100% know that Dragon was not on my team. So yeah, suffice to say, the week went as badly as you would expect, and we literally ended the tournament on 0 points. we 0-pointed a tournament. And for those of you that have ended tournaments on 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, like you understand exactly how hard it is to not win a single game the entire week. I mean, chaos theory says that you should probably randomly win at least one game. And
or at least like one of the higher seeds will throw you a pity fuck or something.
Yeah, no, it was so bad. Now but again, it was one of those. There were some net positives that did come out of it. On a personal level, there was actually a streak where I played some heavy, and 3 out of 4 games in a row I had 100% accuracy. Now, granted, 2 of those games I only fired like 35 shots, but one of the games I went 82 for 82, so that felt good. But the real benefit as far as Auckland was concerned was during one of the practice games. Auckland played their team against a ragtag team that I played commander for, and I shit all over them, and it was fucking amazing.
Not for us.
Oh no, for you guys it was fucking terrible, but for me it was a nice vindication of yeah, you guys are idiots and you should be listening to me. And at that point, and Steve, if I'm stepping on some of your stuff, you'll tell me, I'm sure.
Fair enough.
There was one of the Auckland players, Nightmare, was like kind of hemming and hawing, like, "Oh, I'm not really having a lot of fun. Maybe I'm just gonna go home." And like the Auckland boys started kind of going, "Yeah, bro, cool. If you're not having fun, you should definitely go."
Yeah,
with the idea that, oh, if he goes, yeah, then we can just grab Than, and actually, because Than's proven it's obvious. It's like, oh, Than actually knows what he's doing. He would be better, and then Nightmare didn't go.
I mean, he was a good player, but he was going through some personal shit that was just distracting him. Yeah, he was not focused at all. Zero pointing a tournament is a honorable mention for me. We 0-pointed in 2003, and it was really depressing. Yeah, but yeah. Do we want to go to the next one? We go to 2.
We may as well.
Yeah,
may as well.
Yeah. So 2, it shouldn't take too long for me because it does piggyback on what you were saying, Steve. Because my number 2 is also the 2010 Nats.
Yep.
Which you got frustrated playing like maybe one day of the shitty blind firing style. I had to deal with it all week.
Yeah. And
it was just not a good situation from minute 1. Like, we had been playing that way in the States for the last 2 years, and I didn't like it any second they were playing it. But up until that point, people were still playing relatively normal. But 2010 in Chula Vista, it got taken to its logical extent that it was all pop shots all the time, because why wouldn't you? That dominates everything else.
Yep.
If people want to know why I am so passionate and maybe just knee-jerk defensive of the shielding rule and the way that it's constructed, this tournament is why.
Yep.
Is because it was terrible.
It was awful.
It was literally the worst laser tag tournament I've ever been to. And again, if you like playing that way, that's fine. But it's not anything that I'm interested in. Coupled with, I was having, we'll say, some personal issues with a couple of the people on my team, which has all been sorted since, so I don't need to get into those. But we weren't getting along very well at the time. I was just not having a good time with it. I thought the rules were bullshit. I wasn't enjoying the tournament at all. Had I not driven people down from SAC and had the responsibility of driving them back up, I'm pretty sure I probably would have left after day 3 or 4, is how miserable that I was.
Yeah.
And this was roughly 3 weeks or so before I was slotted to move to Portland from Sacramento. At that point, I was totally fine with that. I was like, yeah, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna leave it all behind. Fuck laser tag, fuck all this. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Was how shitty I felt after that tournament, because I really didn't like it at all. Silver lining for that was got to meet Guy Next Door for the 2 days that he was lucid.
I remember you. And you flew into my bedroom through the window.
And he disappeared through that hole in the wall. The door?
Stop.
No, the hole.
Stop pooping.
Yeah, so that was cool. Got to meet Jandy, and I got to meet a bunch of the other Australians. It was the first time I'd ever met like Traj face to face. It had been years since I'd seen Rusty at that point. So it was cool just to reconnect with people and meet other people for the first time. That was cool. And then the very last day, I was glad to stick around because Sanch had basically asked me, he's like, hey, DK, if I wanted to switch to the international rules when Syracuse hosts next year, like I can do that, right? Now, I have no idea if I was really within my authority to say this. And I said, yes, 100%, do it. Do it right now. Well, but the fact is that the decision to switch off of the Australian rules was also made in a similar arbitrary manner by a small number of people. There was never any kind of official vote on it by any sort of committee over in the States. So to my perspective, it was perfectly legitimate to have the site owner who was going to be hosting the next year say, yeah, no, we're going to play by proper rules. And so, yeah, if you want to know why I'm a dick about it and I will not play by pop shot rules, it's because I almost fucking rage quit laser tag after 2010.
Well, so yeah, that tournament kind of set a precedence, and is kind of the case study for why we play the way we do now. It was horrible, man. It was so bad. Yeah, right on. It was a rough year. I do miss the people. That have since stopped playing competitive Space Marines as a result of the rule change. But
you win some, you lose some.
That's right.
I missed most of them. One or two, I'm not upset. Stop playing. But we don't need to mention that.
Dan, do you have a number 2, if you will?
Yeah, and this is very kind of specific and myopic. Detroit 2013, second game of the grand final.
No, it was the first game. The second game we fucked around because we had gotten so smashed in the first game.
But whatever. It was one of the finals. It was one of the finals game, first, second, whatever. Again, it all blends together. It was 7 fucking years ago, whatever. So we were a hybrid team anyway, going against Detroit A in their own maze. The fact that we had made it to the finals, and we knocked the cult out on the way was fucking fantastic. Yeah, I mean there was a lot of good that week, but this finals game where we tried something and it failed so horrifically.
So bad, bro.
Oh man, it was quite possibly one of the worst, if not the worst, ass rapings I've ever received at a national tournament, and that includes 2005 with that hybrid team. Like, this game went so bad so quick. It was, I mean,
can't say that on stream.
The final score was something stupid like 38k to like 6k or something dumb. I mean,
I got killed out on -40. I know that. I'm pretty sure it's the only time that I haven't been a resup, have ever been killed out in a Nats game on a negative score, and it was in the grand final of the tournament. Yeah,
it was. I mean, again, we didn't. It's not like we expected to win.
Where's your scouts now, bitch?
Dude, it was. Again, looking back, it's hilarious. And even at the time, it was kind of hilarious because of how bad it was.
It was kind of a, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, it was very, very much a, what are you gonna do? So yeah.
Yeah. Again, it sucks when you make it to the grand final, and
ship the bed
it just
completely.
all goes. Yeah, it just all goes bad. But yeah, in comparison to 2017, which I'd mentioned earlier, it was like we were supposed to lose that. We were a hybrid team. Detroit A was heavy favorites. We were the only team to even take a game off them in round play, and even that was a pretty near thing.
Yep.
Right on. Well, so at my number 2, we go all the way back to my first nationals, 2003 in Oakley, Oakley, Melbourne, Australia.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So I'm gonna keep this relatively brief because I know that
Lies.
relatively brief only because I know that this particular tournament was part of the reason why what's a delicate way to put this? It's like walking across ice. Okay, I'll tell you what happened first. At least from my perspective. Now, this is going back a long time, and so the details of my mind have become hazy. And I know that Al, you'll probably be able to give me a better perspective. Wade, right, and same with you, Doug. You'll be able to give me a better perspective on what happened. But yeah. Why there was no Nats in 2004 and no one really went to 2005. So in 2003. Tensions have been mounting all week. The alpha dogs.
Between who?
The alpha dogs of the Oakley A team and the Brisbane A team were full on alpha dogging. Meanwhile, little old Auckland were getting 0 pointed all week and being terrible. And that's the end of the story. No. So
you mean, hang on. You mean Auckland was getting raw dogged by Brisbane and Oakley?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. We were getting raw dog. So yes, you buried the lead there. So reffing was the problem, and vetoing of refs was the problem. So back then, the V word was just flippantly used all week, and people were getting vetoed from reffing left and right, to the point where we got to the finals, which was between Oakley A and Brisbane A. And I'm pretty sure there was 3 refs in the whole arena. Because every single other player got vetoed. And I think it was Susie, Stallion. I think it was 2 refs. I think, well, because I'm pretty sure Tachyon was in there as well.
Tachyon was in there because
Stallion managed not to get vetoed. That's the most shocking.
No idea.
So Al says Susie, Chad, and one other. I think it was Tachyon. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there you go. Susie, Chad, Stallion. I'm pretty sure Tachyon was in there as well. But either way, it was like.
In any case, a small number of refs.
The amount of refs in there was shorter than our top 5 list. And you know, when tempers are flaring, Stanley had to have gotten vetoed. He was in the ref meeting for some reason, and there were I do recall a particular quote. Actually, I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was along the lines of "Where the fuck are your refs now, bitch?" or something like that, from between one player and another. I won't give names, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And
some of us knew who they are.
And that proceeded to be like just the worst fucking final, even worse than a team hiding behind a wall. But yeah, so there was plenty of tempers. Name names, damn it. You have a keyboard? Feel free to go nuts and chat. Yeah, I just remember, and that was like my first taste of competitive Space Marines. Six game final.
Oh, that's right, because that was the rotation tournament.
That was the rotation tournament. Yeah, yeah. Which was good in theory, but it was awful. And we fucked up our rotations during the week, so our best player got busted to medic for a round. And then our worst player proceeded to missile him during a game as the medic.
That'll teach you.
Wakako. Yeah, so all in all, like there was some pretty bad calls we made from the refs, and at one point, one of the players, who should go nameless, made a referee cry, which ended in a conduct penalty, which then ended costing them the finals, So massive asterisks on that tournament as well for the tournament winners. And then all of that bad blood spilled out across to the awards dinner, which happened that night, where a couple of the Brisbane players turned up shit-faced and were just whipping shit at Tachyon, whipping shit at all of the Oakley players. Just awesome. It was awful. It was pretty bad. And as a result, Oakley didn't come. There was no Nats in Australasia in 2004, which was disappointing. Oakley didn't really have a presence at 2005, and it wasn't until 2006 where, the land of peace and harmony in Auckland smoothed everything over, and we had one of the best nationals that we'd had so far. Granted, it was only my third one, but that was a great nationals. Ducky, you think you had to work that night, didn't get to the dinner. Yeah, that's why you didn't come. It was awful. It was terrible. It's the second worst nationals experience for me. To be fair, the reason why we didn't attend 2004 and 05 was that you were living in the UK. That's right. I do remember that, Al. Sure, that's the reason.
Well, I mean, Al did come to Sacramento in 2004, and that was awesome. So,
He had to work that day. That's why he couldn't go to Nationals 2004, 2005. But yeah, so that's my number 2. What's at the top of your guys' list, and then we'll end for the day.
Well,
Yeah.
so mine, because it was in chronological, 2015 with Colty McCulk faces in Loveland. So I mean, I don't really know that we need to rehash that since we've already pretty well covered it. So.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was top 3 for both of us, that tells you something.
Yeah. Hoodie says, if Al doesn't organize me, I can't go to Nats.
That's fair.
If he doesn't pour you back into the car.
Steve-O Snake! Fucking jokes.
So, okay. Number 1,
Detroit.
maybe this is a cop-out, maybe not. Honestly, it's not being able to have Nats this year.
You took my one, damn it!
Preempt you?
Yeah. I've got that at number 1 too.
Okay,
but
so I mean, we can just discuss it, I guess.
Yeah.
It sucks. This has to be number 1 because there's no silver lining to it.
Yeah.
Other than we get to have a podcast, we could have done that anyway.
Yeah.
But it sucks. I was
been doing that anyway.
super looking forward to coming to Auckland because I've never been to Auckland, never been to New Zealand. I wanted to see all of y'all. We were actually probably going to have a pretty good U.S. team.
Well, maybe.
Well, the US
Maybe.
presence.
Yeah, I was going to say that things have changed a little bit in between. For a variety of reasons.
But
yeah, it sucks.
The
I don't know how else to
presence
say it.
from the US coming here was illegitimate. Can't have a worse Nats if it doesn't happen. Technically, I said Nats in moments. Probably. I probably said that. We won't know until I watch the video back again. You're right, though. It sucks, man. I was like... I was super depressed, disappointed. I know a lot of people were, but like, I think because everything kind of... This last year for me has been really shit. And it was kind of gonna be the thing. It was gonna be the thing to kind of save it all for me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, we know that. Yeah, I know you've had kind of a rough go of it the last 12 months, and I think kind of everybody in different ways has had kind of rough last 12 months, even before all the COVID bullshit. And so there was definitely this huge light at the end of the tunnel with, it's like, oh, hey, we're going to get to go to New Zealand. And the fact that there were so many, US players that were like, hey, yeah, let's do let's do the thing. Let's go to New Zealand because 2018 we went to Brisbane and that was pretty cool. So we should definitely go to Auckland and hang out with everybody and have a good time. And there was so much excitement and all the all the cool work that Greg has been doing with regards to the updated scoreboard and the fact that we're able to do that because of the new file format that HQ is like, oh, here we're going to do the game histories in this format so you can actually do something with them. I mean, there was all this really cool stuff that we were going to be able to just kind of like really give it obviously it's getting alpha during Auckland members nights right now, but to be able to actually put it onto the wider stage and to be able to see people that I in general like, I like most of you. I don't necessarily like all of you, but I like most of you. And being able to actually see everybody face to face that I only get to see once a year, once every 2 years, whatever. It was definitely something that was being severely looked forward to. And obviously, when I came on and was, super fucking angry ranting because, I'm supposed to fucking be in Auckland right fucking now.
Yeah.
Right now I should be in Auckland hanging out with a bunch of my Kiwi friends, probably having a fucking barbecue or something right now because it's what, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's pretty cold.
Shit.
It's pretty cold at the moment. We might do an indoor one.
Hey,
Okay.
we're no stranger to having barbecues and inappropriate venues and situations
So
in the Resupply community.
I actually I have that as an honorable mention as well.
That's fair. But yeah, sorry to be a downer for everybody, but that's the honest truth is we miss all you people.
Yeah, we
We
really
miss
do.
all you idiots. And Steve, I know it's been particularly hard on you, and
Yeah.
we love you, bro. Wish I could give you a hug right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to fucking. You guys know me. I'm real fucking emotional. I'm an emotional guy.
You are a little emo at the best of times.
Oh, I should.
You
gotta get my fringe on.
You're not wrong. You're so not wrong.
It was really it was heartbreaking. So, fucking. It sucks.
But we will rise again. The phoenix will rise from the ashes.
Yeah.
Of the dumpster fire that is 2020.
Yeah.
Long may this year be cursed.
Thanks for the love. Fucking crying on the fucking stream. What a dick.
Hang on.
Fucking hardcore we are on this stream. We are dedicated to broadcasting, come hell or high water.
That's right.
I'm gonna fucking remind you, it was your fucking idea to put our fucking faces on the internet. So like, if we were doing this old school style, you'd be able to edit that shit out. It wouldn't have been a problem.
Give me a break.
No, you gotta be there fucking live. Okay, we're gonna fucking do this.
My finger was hovering over the fucking be right back button again. I was gonna blame him.
If you didn't get back to talking, I was gonna suggest that we do that. But
yeah, I'm okay. I'm
honestly
alright now.
appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty, bro.
It's like I said, it's been a rough year. It was something I was really looking forward to. Mostly so I could see you guys. Mostly so I could see all you guys in chat. Like it's the thing. For me, it's like Christmas. It's the thing that I look forward to most every year. Because this is kind of my second family, right? And that's Nats for me is seeing everyone. So when we don't get to have it, I know it's like not really. It's super #white people problem, to be fair.
It is.
Well,
everybody only lives to the frame of their own experience. And it sucks.
it is definitely a first world problem.
Yeah.
You know, okay. Our first world problem this year was we couldn't get on airplanes, travel many thousands of miles to a couple islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and play laser tag together. I mean, if you actually step that through as, you know, the thing that we couldn't do, yeah, I mean, it is such a ridiculous first world problem.
Yeah.
But it's our first world problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, for as much trash as we give each other on a minute by minute basis, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of genuine love and care for a lot of people, you know, between a lot of people within the community. Again, not everybody, you know, there's definitely some outliers that do not like each other in any way, shape, or form, and that's fine. That's you know, it's the massive dysfunctional Laser Force family that we are.
Yeah,
that's just life. That's just reality.
So I mean, that's probably the list. Then did you do your last one?
My last one in chron order was the 2015 Culty McCult face.
Right.
I mean, again, what the fuck else do we need to say about the fact that we had a legitimate fucking cult in the Laser Force scene, like that bought Detroit Lasers, ran it into the ground so fucking hard they had to sell it at a multiple $100,000s loss.
Well, you know,
yeah.
Who would have thought that getting massages with your resupply wasn't a viable option?
I always get massages from this resupply, so you know.
You want to hear about this? You want to hear more about this cult?
Shawnee,
that's a discussion for a different time.
Yeah, that's like we could probably literally do an entire episode on the cult.
But the resupply is a happy place.
That's
so
wild sometimes.
Yeah. The last like 10-15 minutes, it has definitely not been a happy place in any way, shape, or form.
On occasion, but that's how we know that it's good the rest of the time.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. You can message me or us in the Discord if you want to talk more about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm so intrigued now. There's some links we can send you. Did either of you guys have any more honorable mentions?
I kind of got mine out of the way up front. So
yeah. I have a fucking honorable mention, Steve. You fucking cunt. Actually, this is actually not your fault. This is Sam, Soul, and Sneak. This is all their fucking fault. Goddamn 2006 fucking totem pole and those idiots continually throwing themselves at it and feeding them fucking points. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking god! You knew within like a very short time. Oh, this is what's happening. Stop feeding them points. Just fucking shoot Rusty as he's out trying to attack. Just don't.
Yeah.
Leave 5 of them in there not scoring points. Why are you doing this?
That was it's a massive. Oh no! Oh, I thought my camera had shit itself again.
Yeah. We're close. We're close.
Oh no! It happened. I think what it is. Hang on. I'm gonna try and fix this without going to be right back because you know we don't need to do that.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, what's going on? I can't handle all this bandwidth from DK's computer.
There we go. Pop out. We go full screen. We're gonna fix this.
I can't handle DK's computer not crashing. I must crash someone's computer.
You know
like
what?
It's you today.
I think I've just figured out what's happening. Hang on, G&D camera. We're coming back.
Good job, Steve-O.
Yeah, we were so close. We were so close to the end. We were gonna finish on a high. Where's Than's camera?
Hoodie says, "Stop trying to watch Brazzers at the same time."
Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, these are happy
Remind
tears.
us, this week's episode brought to you by Brazzers.
Hey, you know what? If they want to fucking sponsor us, whatever.
I'll take their money.
Yeah.
Nobody
Anything
pays.
sexy if you put that logo in the corner.
Nobody pays for that. All right. Stop unclicking stuff, Steve. I'll try. Look, that's probably a good place to end the stream.
Yeah, we've been going over 2 hours.
Off the back of some more technical problems. We're gonna look to do some more top fives. We'll make it a little more streamlined and talk for less. Bad news. Bad news is there's no resupply stream next week. I've got to go out of town and see family. It'll be the first time for me seeing some of my family for a little while. So my nephew is turning 8, I believe. So we're going to go up north and have a birthday party for him. Good news is that tomorrow we have D&D. So if you're... Yeah, we got D&D tomorrow. So if you're feeling... if you're feeling it, come hang out with us tomorrow whilst we kick ass with the best DM around.
He's gonna try not to die again.
Did you say cry or die?
Die. Yes. Although we can't rule out either of them.
Yeah. Thank you for bearing with me. Fucking, it's so embarrassing crying on the fucking live stream.
We love you, buddy.
But oh, Tutu does he? Fuck you, Ducky.
There's nothing wrong with man tears. We
That's
love you,
right.
buddy.
That's right. I'll cry at the drop of a fucking dime.
That's true. I've seen it.
You've seen it. But
I've
yeah,
been there for it.
thanks for coming to hang out with us. I'm thoroughly enjoying the streaming format and actually getting to interact with you guys via chat. If you have some of your own top 5 worst Nats moments, feel free to drop them in the Discord, and we'll start a conversation around that at the drop of a chair.
Well played.
But yeah, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK with a strangely working computer.
And I've been really angry Than.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you in a couple weeks, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
And tomorrow for D&D.
And tomorrow for motherfucking D&D. Can't wait. All right. Thanks for hanging out, people.
I've been throwing daggers I wanna go